Hello, greetings, tarot lovers and tarot curious, welcome. Today, the Fool meets the Star, number 17 in the Major Arcana. Here's the Fool meeting the Star. So the Star is 17, which is the same as number 8 in numerology. There is a large correlation between the Strength card and the Star card. So this is the woman who has the gentle energy that tames the impulsive rage of the lion within us. The Star card is one of the oldest tarot images. The older decks have the Star card, and it's remained a strong card in the tarot. The Star is imbued with energy of the astrology sign Aquarius, and Aquarius is the intellectual dreamer and inventor who sees the brighter, reimagined future. They often listen to their own drummer. They're off the beaten track often. And Aquarius sits in the 11th house of the zodiac, which represents social causes, utopian vision, and technological advances. Like the Fool, it's linked to the planet Uranus. So they both have a strong desire for freedom. So before we get deeply immersed in this card, I want you to remember that when you come to a place where you want to write a response in the journal or sketch or doodle some ideas or images that might make up your own tarot card design, please stop the video and do so. There will be time codes posted that will serve as chapters, so this tutorial is best used if you follow your own learning style. Aquarius is an air sign with a focus on the intellect, but it also handles the element of water, which is more mysterious and dreamy and full of feelings. Two pictures pour the water on land and in the rivers of time. Strong feelings guide the well-plotted logic and desire of Aquarians. They are social, but do not need others to feel fulfilled. The Aquarian energy is often misunderstood because others can't imagine the visions that an Aquarian and Aquarian growth and expansion are related to. So their innate focus on brilliance and bringing ideas and life to those visions, give them hope and feed them. Since this focus is their natural state, the Aquarian energy sees the need to be fixed, and they choose to focus on healing and hope. So this is a card of healing and hope. Their ability to see beyond the events of the present and expand horizons make them idealistic about the future. So as you look at this card, I want you to journal prompt. I want you to look at the card and respond to colors and shapes and the mood. How does it make you feel? What do you imagine it would say to you? Quite simply, the Star card is of hope and healing. It honors the journey you've traveled. It honors the experiences you've lived through. It honors you through your darkest moments. It honors the experience and wisdom you have achieved in getting closer to your authentic self. It asks you to prioritize your personal healing and your journey. The nude woman actively nurturing is symbolic of renewal and growth. As I relate a few stories to you, I ask that you take time to consider your own life story and see where your story may well reflect the energy of the star card. In one story, this is Mother Nature, nurturing water and nurturing earth. Working through the night, she is watched by the stars, which help her navigate her life's path. An ibis, the bird symbolic of human soul, and the transition between worlds of life and afterlife, sits in the tree of knowledge behind her. As her alchemy of nature through waters of life creates hope, change, transition, healing, empowered forward motion. This is so much like a Mother Nature version of Temperance. I like to think that she pauses in her work of healing and hope, and that she looks onto the surface of the waters and sees the reflection of the stars and enjoys the moment. Stars shine with their own power. The big star represents big revelation for the future, freedom to be you, courage, inspiration, insight, spiritual enlightenment. The 7 smaller stars surrounding the 8th star represent your chakras and the healing that takes place within you, through you, after you have suffered an ordeal. As you heal, you gain new insight and are transformed. In the Kabbalah, the plants watered in the soil of the earth represent the female energies of God through the 10 seraphi. Art activity. Allow your mind to freely flow. Pardon my tongue twister. And imagine star energy flowing through your random writing and drawing. Allow your ideas to evolve, and later study what your unconscious mind brought up. Journal prompt. How do you connect to the healing of mind and body in your self-care process? What do you want to add to your routine to improve your self-care? Ideas to explore could include a warm bath with music and essential oils, EFT, emotional freedom technique, often called tapping, mindful breath work, yoga, long leisurely stretches, Tai Chi, Qigong, Sanskrit chanting, meditation, hikes in nature. Make your own list and stretch your menu to experiment in the spirit of Aquarian energy. Another contrasting but powerful message that the star represents is the energy of an ancient Sumerian goddess, Inanna, associated with love, war, beauty, sex, justice, and political power. She was known as Queen of the Heavens. In her most prominent symbols were the 8-pointed star and the lion. Bringing us back to this card. She appeared in many cultures which adopted and adapted her stories. In a popular myth, Inanna wore 7 veils and went to visit her older sister, Ereshkigal, ruler of the underworld. Inanna planned to take over the underworld, expanding her powers. At each step deeper into the underworld, she was forced to give up an article of clothing until she was naked before her sister and the 7 judges who judged her guilty. She hung on a hook there to die. However, before she had left, Inanna's ministers, who knew this was a risky plan, were instructed to rescue her if needed. So they sent 2 sexless beings with food and the water of life to revive her. The guardians released her when it was agreed that Inanna's consort, Dumuduz, the god of shepherds, and his sister, Geshtina, the scribe, would take turns every half year to live in the underworld in her place. This story explains the cycle of wet and dry seasons. In this story, the star card as goddess shows the water of life restoring the land and waters. The reason I include this story is because I want to reflect on how, like the goddess Inanna, our ego desires can cause us to fall. Once we suffer despair, then we can grow in our wisdom. The goddess Inanna was confident in her popularity, but then defeated by overreach. She appears in her nude form, the nurturer, being hopeful and being connected to her true nature rather than her ego, as a part of the pattern of nature rather than trying to conquer it. Journal prompt. How do you see the desire of the ego in your life? What goals are yours and what goals are your ego's? They are often intertwined. Sorting them out can be a good idea just to make sure that you are not taken into the underworld and testing yourself beyond your limit. But even if you do, you can learn and rise above it. There is no path of your soul that is not the right path. It's helping you choose and helping you go through events that help you become wiser. A third story for this card is Nuit, N-U-T-R-I-T, the Egyptian goddess of the night. And she's also symbolic of all women. Each night she swallows the sun so that she can give birth to sunrise in the east. All night long she guards us with her body's arch of darkness as a starry dome over the earth. Art activity. Allow your mind to flow free and let the stars' energy flow through your hand as you draw. Come back to your drawings later and see what your unconscious mind has brought up. Journal prompt. Think about your own life story in relation to this card. Can you see how some struggles that you have been through have led to healing and personal growth? Another option is to create a list of what you felt and thought before you were stopped by your struggle or your upset. Then make a list of what you felt and thought afterward. How have you changed? How have you freed yourself and come closer to uncovering and reclaiming the authentic you? We've covered a lot of ground with this transformational card. I wanted to bring up the Empress. I often think of the Empress as an earlier version of Mother Nature and the star as a later version of Mother Nature, a wiser one that has been through a lot and comes out on top, comes out wiser and deeper, connected with her goal and her vision, her Aquarian style has come out to look for the future and look toward healing. So, growth and healing, continued growth and healing. So, what I'd like you to do now is take a moment to sit quietly in your chair and feel the weight of your body as you plant your feet on the floor and take some long, slow, cleansing breaths. Pull in the energy of the star. Think back on aspects of this card that most resonate with you. Feel the energy of nurturing and hope and healing flow through you. Feel a desire to create new realities, new places, new ideas, new connections. Connect to the inner strength, the self-care, and the willingness to actively embrace your authentic self. Allow for your vision, your power, and ability to prepare for the future. Feel it awakening in your spirit, in your mind, and throughout your body. Breathing out what no longer serves you. After some cleansing breaths, just sit and thank yourself for this practice of connecting to the star card and following the Fool on his journey. As you quietly come back into your awareness, consider the expansion these tarot cards are providing as you reconnect with your own life story. I hope you enjoy unleashing your unconscious mind and creative ideas for your own star card. Next time, the Fool will meet the Moon, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening. Blessed be. Namaste.